and welcome to Let's Sip and Talk with Freema. Today we have on a returning guest, Jonathan Williams. And Jonathan's very passionate about a lot of things. He spoke very well about his life journey, and we learned a lot from him. So I felt the need for him to come back on because there were some things that we were unable to discuss because we ran out of time. So without further ado, we'll bring on Jonathan Williams. And remember, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel to see the behind the scenes of Miss Let's Sip and Talk. And remember, that's a no judgment zone. Also, if you like what I'm doing, make sure you guys support. And the Cash App is Let's Sip and Talk. We'll bring on Jonathan Williams. Hello, hello, hello.
How you doing, ma'am? How you doing?
I am good. How are you?
I can't complain. Actually, I'm glad to have a day off. That sounds pretty good.
Oh, that's great. Feel like when I have a day off, it's still not a day off. But hey, I'm not complaining either.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Man, it's one thing that I really want to talk about today. It really was communication.
Okay.
The communication is a real hot topic. 2 days ago, I really want to express that because in a relationship, I want to understand from a woman's point of view and a man's point of view, how do you get to a barrier where it's a 50-50 communication? And
Okay.
I feel like that's where a lot of people today is really downfalling right now on a relationship tip because communication is a lot of communication barriers. Um,
Right.
I don't know whether we want to blame it on social media or we want to blame it on, well, it's technology, whatever, however the case may be. How do we get back to the form of communication to where we can actually establish as a family and as a whole, vice versa, as we actually disconnecting and we actually becoming enemies or we becoming someone that we don't actually want to deal with?
Hmm. And you're saying just so in a relationship, that's where we're starting communication in a relationship.
Yeah,
Honestly, I think what happens and where those barriers come from, and again, on Let's Sip and Talk with Freema, is just opinions. So
right.
I think it starts from the beginning. It's something that we did not do from the beginning, whether it was the lack of honesty or, telling that your other half exactly how you felt. You were holding things in, you were sparing their feelings. You see what I'm saying? So I think it actually comes from the beginning of the relationship. That's just my opinion. I think that's where it starts. That's where it comes from. And that's how the communication, it slowly decreases as the relationship goes on.
Well, let's go more in depth.
Okay.
Let's say you and the person really in tune with each other and y'all getting everything together. And let's say it's that barrier that actually takes it to the whole nother level. But that barrier can't be crossed because it's that communication barrier. How will you approach that? And how will you be able to cope that into your relationship going forward, vice versa, as you depleting that relationship and going a whole nother obstacle?
Wait a minute now. So you're
Oh,
saying,
I'm listening to you now.
okay, so you're saying everything was good in the beginning, right? I'm in
Yeah.
a happy relationship, everything's good. And then all of a sudden, like things are shifting. Is that what you're saying? How do you bring up that conversation about communication?
Well, no, not really shifting. What I'm saying is how communication could be it can be a barrier. You know how a lot of people really don't know how to communicate with each other anymore. And then when a situation presents itself, when it becomes to where y'all have to communicate with each other, if y'all don't have that sense of communication, how do you reach that sense of communication without destroying what you already have?
I guess that's where we're going to have to maybe bring in a third party, whether it's therapy or maybe listen to some type of motivational speeches that, solely are talking about relationships or something. But we're going to have to do something that both of us agree on to get that communication going. Or even if one person was to step out there and say, you know what, I'm going to start, I don't know, looking at YouTube videos on how to communicate, how to gradually take it there. It's something, somebody got to be the bigger person and figure this thing out before, like you said, it get destroyed, before it's nothing else you can do about it. But I think maybe a therapist or something may be able to help. Hell, listening to Let's Sip and Talk with Freema might help.
Exactly. But no, the reason why I brought that up is because you know, while I'm at work, you know, it's a lot of fellas that I run into that actually deal with that. And I feel
Mm,
a lot of us as men, we don't know how to tuck our pride sometimes. We don't know how to really know how to tuck our pride and love. You know,
right.
feel like we got to be macho all the time. And like it was a guy I was speaking to, and like I told him, I was like, bro, you could be macho all you want, but then when that lady is gone, she's gone. If you got something good, work towards it, brother. You gonna have
Right.
good, bad, and the ugly. It comes with the territory. You're never gonna always get just 100% of what you want. You know, we can even speak on when they talk about Tyler Perry, the 80-20 rule. You know,
Right.
you it's gonna always be that 20% that gonna irk your nerve, that gonna get on your nerve, that gonna make you wanna you cringe.
Yep. But we can't focus on that
Can't
20% all
focus
the
on
time.
that 20% because you gotta focus on that 80%. And that's
I
why
love that you brought that up.
it's a lot of men that's really dealing with that situation. And with me being a young man and with me trying to transition, you know, me having a fiance trying to do everything that I need to do, you know, to be that righteous man, to be that family man, to
Mm,
cultivate my family, to make my daughter turning from a princess to a queen, to make my
mm-hmm.
from a prince to a king. You know, it's certain boundaries that I have to just tuck my tail and just say, hey, these are things I need to do. And
Right.
it's a lot of people that really cope with that. And that's why I really wanted to bring that situation up just to start off because
Well, yeah.
just 2 days ago I went through that situation and like I told her brother, I was like, bro, don't give up. I was like, you really overthinking the situation. You know, all you got to do sometimes is just tuck your pride sometimes
That's
and
it.
what the female is saying. You know, sometimes they're right, sometimes they're not. But at the end of the day, you know, y'all got to get to that common ground to where y'all can actually establish something. Because if she worth building a legacy with, then she worth building a legacy with. And then
Absolutely.
got to deal with the good, bad, and the ugly and build a legacy with. And
Exactly. And we got to compromise with one another too. You know, we're not perfect.
right,
At that point in relationship, you never really know anyone 100%. You know, so sometimes you're going on, you're learning that person, and sometimes we just have to compromise or take a step back for the person we love. Now, I'm not saying allow them to step on your, you know, like do the most, but
right.
sometimes we do have to take a look within and say, you know what, maybe I am handling this situation wrong, or let me hear what she has to say. Now, I'm gonna keep it real with you, Jonathan. A lot of men feel like women try to be their parents. You're trying to be my mom when all it is we're trying to assist. You know, we see it from a different perspective, but sometimes y'all don't give us that. Y'all think we're trying to rule your life, and we're not. We want to see good for you, but there goes that macho man who can't take it from me because now I'm trying to be your mama.
But you know what? Vice versa too. It's a lot of men that look for women to act as the part of their mom, and that's the reason why they can't step up as men. You never thought about that situation.
I have not.
You get what
I
I'm
have
saying?
not.
It's a lot. It's a lot of men that goes out there looking for something that their mother have, but guess what? That woman is a woman for you. It's not a
Right.
mother. Your mother was the person that took you from that dependent stage to that independent stage. Now you're looking for somebody to take you to that interdependency. Once
Mm-hmm.
the interdependency, and we already spoke on that the first time. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of men go out there striving to find somebody that just like their mother. You will never find nobody like your mother. It's a reason why that's your mother.
Mother, right. That
So
love is totally different.
that caused a lot of conflict
It
within
does.
a lot of relationships too, because people go through
Absolutely.
like, oh well, my mama do this, or this how we eat, or woo 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 woo, or my mama
Yep.
like this, and da 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 da. That caused a lot of conflict too. So, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but that vice versa too, because it's a lot of people that go out there try to find people like their mother, but when they should actually be trying to go out there and find somebody that's compatible to them,
Right.
they could be able to strive and grow as a unit, as a whole, as one. You know,
Absolutely.
a
Now,
lot.
if somebody's watching and you're going out there strictly finding someone like your mom, that's doomed for disaster. And the reason I say that is because now you're looking at this woman as is, like you said.
Mhm.
Now he finds himself dependent on her for certain things. Us as women, you know, yeah, in the beginning, you know, we're doing it, but eventually we'll get tired of it.
Of course.
and yeah, and feel like we're settling because now he's dependent on me for this, that, and the third. Like you've been home all day long.
Right.
You couldn't even cook. You waiting for me to come home. You get what I'm saying? So it starts off okay, but we got to look at that like that. No, that's not the way to go. I'm not your mom. Just same way I tried to give you advice about that business you wanted to, start. You felt I was being your mom. So no, I'm not your mom. Cook your food.
I got you on that one, and actually that makes sense, you know. So like it just kind of some people don't want to take that sense of accountability too, you know, on a
Yeah.
relationship. You know, you understand when you get in a relationship, it's a man and a woman. You know what I'm saying? What I mean by that,
Mhm.
be 10 toes as a man. You got to be 10 toes as a woman,
Right.
and a lot of people don't want to tuck their tail and run sometimes. Some people don't want to compromise certain things. Some people don't want to admit that they're wrong or admit that they're right or willing
Absolutely.
to take that extra boundary to make sure that the relationship go into the cycle that what it's supposed to go into. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's like we got to get back to the point now to where we got to be able to go old school. And what by that I'm talking about old
Please
school.
elaborate, please.
But when I mean old school is get that form of communication. Like just hey, I was out and I watch a couple, beautiful couple, and they actually at the table together and one on the other phone, one on the phone.
Mm,
It's no form of communication. The only form of communication is they talking to their children and saying stop or stop doing this. And I'm like, it's the phone is not that important to where we go out to an intimate dinner where we supposed to be as a unit, as a couple, stepping out as a family, to where we can sit down and we can have coffee or talk or eat or where we can just talk about what went on,
right.
we what grind our gears, what made us boom, but I'm good now because I'm with you, this and the third. It's like
Absolutely.
I'm telling you, like communication is really breaking up the unit as a family. Like it's really a depleting part of what we need to do. And
100%.
really and we really need to reach that form again because I really feel like a lot of forms of communication and a lot of form of us getting together and doing things have been lost because of how technology have taken over. You know,
Right.
I can FaceTime my cousin now. I don't have to pull up on my cousin no more. You know, I can FaceTime
Yeah.
my mom now. I don't have to go to Orangeburg every day. You know, but the thing about it is we lose that intuition of, hey, this is what conjugate us, communication, being a family, being molded, being as a whole.
Right.
So
You
but
you start to lose like, let me see how I want to say this. If there's no communication amongst us, like you said, we're out at dinner, we're constantly on the phones or just telling, we don't know what's going on in each other's lives anymore.
right,
Like we lose like not who we are, but who we are as a family. Like I don't know what Freema likes anymore because we set ourselves to go on date night every week, but at date night, we're not communicating. We're just saying
right,
we're doing it. So it's
right.
like that's true, Jonathan. That is a great thing to bring up as far as when we go and yeah, he take me to dinner, but what are we talking about? What are we learning about each other? How was your day? Do people ask that question anymore? Do people ask that question anymore when you walk in the house with your loved one? How was your day, Freema? What's going on at work? I wonder. Hmm.
And then on top of that, you know, every day in a relationship should be a growth process.
Hmm.
You know, it's just like your everyday walk. Your everyday walk, people
Oops.
say you all
Sorry.
every day. If you don't learn something different every day, and it's like you don't kind of give up, you know, and we are the walking teachers. And if our relationship don't grow every single day, if I don't learn something new about you every single day, then that means
Hmm.
dead course. You know, and it's crazy because a lot of people think, well, I don't. A lot of people take I know this person with complacency,
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
100%. Yes.
We've been together for 5 or 6 years. We good.
Absolutely.
You know, I know baby girl, she know me. I love her to death with a woo.
Mm-mm.
But the thing about it is every single day something presents itself different about baby.
Yep.
Baby girl
Yep.
might want to put eyelashes on that might want to pop just a little
Yeah.
bit. As a man, I'm supposed to recognize that and be like, baby girl, those look miraculous on you. You know, it's something
Yeah.
like
100%.
every single day supposed to spark up something different. And I feel like a lot of us done got complacent, like we done
That's
been
so
together
true.
long and she not going nowhere, I'm not going nowhere. It's not about that, you know. And I
It's
feel
so
like that
true.
form of communication has broken. You know, how about getting your hair done just to, oh, I'm about to step in the house for daddy.
Right.
You know, how about daddy? I'm about to step in the house to mommy.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
we just on something where we just got to the point where we just complacent.
We complacent.
We com-
And, as women, and of course, I can only speak from that standpoint
right,
because I
right,
am a
right.
woman, like you said, okay, I'm going to try this new look and see if he notices. But then you walk in and it's, what you ate today? Like what we eating. It's not, oh man, I see you got them lashes. Those look nice. Or I'm not feeling it. Whether you honest or not, it's like, you got to notice the stuff too. You got to acknowledge it. You gotta woo your woman still. You gotta woo your man. Let them know you're still looking at them. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, Jonathan. I speak from experience a lot. And I'm an open book.
Right, right,
Me
right.
and my husband, or I don't know what we call each other right now, but we've been separated for almost 2 years. So, and
Right.
it came from, we're not in a bad space at all, but like you said, it comes from being comfortable, complacent. I felt like he knew me, I knew him, but then we're growing.
Right.
We may not be growing at the same time, the same level, but I noticed we're growing. So after almost 2 years of being separated and maybe thinking about dating again, regardless of how it sounds, we have to learn each other all over. We're new people now. So had we had that communication, had we take our date nights more serious and conversate and see what's going on in each other's lives, we wouldn't have to be taking a separation to learn one another again. You see what I'm saying?
Right, right.
So that makes a lot of sense. Being comfortable in your relation. Never get too comfortable, people. Never get too comfortable.
I'm telling you.
Yeah,
And I feel like that's a downfall right now. Like,
it is.
I mean, it's crazy to say it, but it's no other way of really putting it. Like,
Right.
we feel
That's
like
so.
each other so well and so good until that would make us just do other things, because we're not hearing that cry. We're not hearing this is what we are doing. You're not making recognition on the smaller things. And one thing I've learned, and hey, if my mother out here looking, Sandra Wins, I love you, baby. Salute to you. My mama done taught me
He's a good supporter too.
that women love the smaller things, the finer things in life, you know.
Mm,
And I realized, I can buy my queen all this, the glamour, the diamonds, and which I am, what I'm saying. Once I get to the place, she getting all that.
right.
At the end of the day is, it's the smaller things, remembering just the small piece, what side she like to lay on,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
when they're getting really in depth, what side she like to lay on, you know, how
Observing, paying attention.
understanding when she's mad or she upset, how to comfort her a certain type of way, how to woo her a certain type of way. Like it's certain criteria that we have to step up as men, and just like you speak from the woman aspect, that's why
Mm-hmm.
I love being on the chat with you, because you really speak from a real woman's aspect and
Mm-hmm.
from a real men aspect. What happened to that woman? You know,
Right.
actually establishing a real legacy, a real family, just being with a family, just being
Right.
and understanding the woman intuition. See, a lot of men done lost the concept of understanding the woman intuition. You
Absolutely.
and the things of that nature. It's a lot that goes into it, and I feel like it's a lot of barriers that have crossed that we don't really understand that no more. You know,
And, and something else too, Jonathan. And we talked about this a little bit. How you get them. I always mess up a phrase, but
Right.
how you get them is how you keep them, or somewhere along those lines. So from a male perspective, I want to know. So yeah, you met me looking cute, you know, whatever, what have you. So of course the lashes come off at night, or of course I might sleep in a bonnet. Like, do y'all expect us to just be, when, I guess I need more elaboration on how you get them is how you should keep them. Like, what are y'all looking for us to maintain? If that's what, if you get what I'm trying to ask.
Okay.
I know it's certain things we should be
Hold on.
doing,
Hold on.
but from a,
All right.
not from the
Cool.
cooking, you know, not from, I understand that, but like, hold on, Jonathan. Sorry.
You're all right. You're all right.
But that's what I want to know. What are y'all expecting from women to maintain in a relationship? Y'all dating now, but now you ask this woman to marry you.
Right.
Y'all married for a couple months, the honeymoon stage is over. So what are some examples of things that we may kind of slack off on, that we may need some help in from a male perspective?
I mean, really, to be honest, from a male perspective, when you're talking of that sense, complacency. Going back to that.
Okay, so just
Um,
don't ever get too comfortable.
I mean, because the thing about it is,
I agree with that though.
when you're, regardless of the fact, okay, like, okay, me and mine, okay,
Mhm.
we are like girlfriend and boyfriend all the time.
I love it.
We spontaneous. We might, I don't know. We spontaneous. That what keeps the spark going on. You know, a lot of people feel like, well, I put that ring on, I'm good. She ain't going nowhere, or he good, he ain't going nowhere. Yeah, he ain't cheating, she ain't cheating. We good. A lot of people get caught up in that little misconception, but it's that boyfriend and girlfriend that's still up in there. Catch my drift.
Okay.
So it's always a time point where you gotta always keep that certain type of
Right.
make things boring, because I don't know how to say it without
I
saying.
get what you're saying though.
No, hold on. Listen, I don't know how to say it without saying it, but
Just say it.
a lot of people is boring. You're boring,
Okay.
and you gotta accept that you're boring. You gotta know how to smoke up yourself. You're boring.
Hmm.
You really don't understand how to really keep the being spontaneous. You really have to learn how to be spontaneous. You gotta
I
get
agree.
that spark in that relationship.
Got to keep it going.
Man, one thing I admire, one thing I admire seeing old couples and this and third, because some of them I be seeing them doing some spontaneous. I be seeing like some old men spank them on the butt, not trying to be funny. I see some old women just want to kiss them on the cheek and stuff like that. That's enjoying life. That's keeping
Right.
painting this going on. Like, we enjoying life. We enjoying life together. We are here. We are a unit. That's how you solidify you as a unit. It's like showing that you enjoy every moment of your life with this person. Now, don't get me
Absolutely.
wrong, it's the good, bad, and ugly now. But at the end of the day, it's like the spontaneous. And a lot of people get to the point where, hey, she not going nowhere, she's not cheating. Hey, I'm not going nowhere, I'm not cheating.
Yeah.
We good. You know what I'm saying?
And
But
then we get boring.
that's boring. You know,
Yeah. It's
it's not
very
really
boring.
boring, is
Oh,
it?
I'm gonna go home. I know she gonna have, you know, he or she gonna have the dinner cooked. Then we're gonna sit down and watch TV for a little bit. Then I might read a book or something, and then we're going to bed. Like your whole day is planned out to a T. There's no excitement. There's no spunk.
Nope.
So yeah, I get it. And that's the truth. That's something we have to work on, because I feel like a marriage shouldn't be, or a relationship. I don't even have to say a marriage.
Right.
I don't feel like it should have to be just, it shouldn't be as easy. If it's so easy, you don't have to work on something, then I'm not saying I'm 100% correct, but something might be missing. We got to work at it. We got to feel that, you know, like let me make sure my man is good, or let me, let's do this different tonight. I'm a, turn it up a little bit. I don't know, dress up for him, role play, do whatever you have to do to keep him. I heard Melvin, he's one on the show all the time saying, we're visual creatures. We're visual creatures, so if I have to dress up once a month on a Tuesday, then I know that's what I'm gonna do. You get what I'm saying? Just to keep that spice going.
Right.
But I hope guys would do the same for us.
But yeah, that's just how it is though. A lot of people, like I said, just that complacency. We just feel like we got each other, we good. But not trying to be funny, I'm not trying to be in a boring relationship.
Right.
Yeah, I want to be married for 25, 30, 40, 50 years. Yeah, I would love that. But I don't want to be married for 25, 30, 40, 50 years of misery.
Absolutely.
Where it's just complacency, like, oh, we just together. I want something to be different in a relationship every single year, maybe every single month. A lot of people don't understand a lot of different things present itself every single day. If something don't change every single day, then something is wrong.
Something's wrong. Look like someone said something, Jonathan. Stephanie Stepp said, what about the females that keep the spontaneous going and the man still get too comfortable and lazy, but still expect the female to wait on them hand and foot? I can't do it, Stephanie. I'm sorry. We gonna try now. As a woman, I'm pressing all kind of stuff. I'm sorry, y'all. Lord. As a woman, I must say, we try. Okay, we're gonna give them a benefit of the doubt. We're gonna do it again, probably hell again and again. But it does get to the point, like, I'm doing all this, I might be getting turned down, and you just get tired of it. And that's where that communication, hey, look, I'm gonna be honest with you, John. I feel like our little situation getting a little boring. I've been trying for the past 2 months to spark the fire, and you're just not there. Like, I'm trying to be open and have some fun with you because honestly, I'm feeling a little, I'm getting a little bored. And if John's a man, he'll understand that. He wouldn't get mad. You're not saying you're going out there to cheat on him. You coming to him face to face and talk about that with him. So, Stephanie, we get tired of it. If we tried, that's one thing we can say, at least I tried. And I spoke to you about it. And he didn't change anything. So, at that point, I don't know if y'all married or just in a relationship. I wouldn't say divorce, definitely not, but we gotta do some changes. We gotta make some changes here so both of us are happy. He may be happy laying on the couch chilling, but I wanna have some fun.
Well, how about this, Stephanie? Have you, and not trying to be funny when I say this, have you actually really approached him with the situation? And what I mean by that, not half approach him like, oh, well, I want to do this. And he be like, well, baby, this and third. No, have you actually sat down and had an in-depth talk with him and say, hey, listen, baby, I'm in the chapter of my life where I still want to do things and this and the third. I want to be spontaneous. Woo. We want to do this. I want to do that. I want to go out here, do this, do that, da. Have you sat down and had that relationship, had that talk with him? Because at the end of the day, one thing I understood was growing up with some of my female cousins and with my listening to my mother, just and the third. Sometimes us as men, we don't comprehend that way, and not trying to knock men and not trying to do all that. Sometimes we don't comprehend as well. We don't have intuition of how you feel of your aspect. That's why we got an Adam and an Eve. You get what I'm saying? That's why certain things that we understand as men that women don't understand, that's what is vice versa. As women have some things that men don't understand. And that's why, Stephanie, I asked you that question. Have you really sat down and talked to him as a unit? Because you might have talked to him as your boyfriend, you might have talked to him as your husband, but had you talked to him as your unit? Because when you take that sacrifice as being in a relationship, you become one. So if you haven't had that talk, if you had that same talk with yourself, same talk that you had with yourself is the same talk you should have had with him. So
okay, I'm gonna have to rebuttal on this.
Talk to me. Talk to me.
We had that conversation with him, or I'm saying we like men, but you get what I'm saying. Like we've had this conversation. We've talked to him. It's been 2 or 3 months, and I'm still trying. Like what do we do? When is enough enough? When do we say, now look, I can't do it anymore? It may seem minor to you guys, or if we always have to speak to you constantly because y'all visualize things differently or see things differently, or y'all don't comprehend what we're trying to say all the time, we aren't supposed to get tired of that? Why can't you think? Why can't you see what I'm trying to do and figure that out? Why always gotta be the one to put that foot forward first?
Well, that's when, not to be funny, that's when you as a female, you got to weigh your options.
Mm.
Whether it's worth it to stay or
Yeah,
worth it to explore your options. I mean, not trying to
that's
be
true.
funny,
No, I get it.
but I mean, that's when you as a female, you have to understand as a woman, sometimes it just have to branch off.
Mm.
And that was going back to 2 weeks ago when you was talking about the dating process. We don't have to lay down and sleep with everybody, but that's when the dating process comes up.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
I mean that
Stephanie, before we get on that, Stephanie said, well said, Freeman. Yes, I have talked and talked, explained, expressed myself. All the reaction is always doing what you got to do. But that's the difference between man and boy.
right,
Stephanie, you answered it.
right. I
That's the difference between a man and a boy.
baby. I mean,
Yeah,
your own question. I mean, because I mean, a boy gonna think as a boy, a man gonna be a man.
absolutely.
And the obligation, responsibility, and a man understand that he never stopped growing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, I mean, and to be honest with you, Stephanie, with this being from a man aspect, sometimes I lose my way sometimes. And that's why you need a certified queen sometimes to actually elevate you. Sometimes it takes you staying in certain situations too now, you know,
Yeah.
in order for you to grow. Not saying your situation where you gotta stay into, but what I'm saying is you gotta weigh your options. Because just like, and I'm gonna say from a personal aspect from me, I did 3 years in prison. My queen could have left me a long time ago.
Right.
She could have been stepping out doing everything with everybody a long time ago.
I need
But
to write some stuff down because I got some questions. Go ahead,
you
Jonathan.
know what I'm saying? She weighed the options of what I done did and what I presented myself as, vice versa as the situation of what I've been going through. And sometimes a lot of men cope and they bottle up things, but a lot of men going through a lot of things that you really
Mm,
don't know about.
that's true.
And it took me actually getting locked up and having to call them and say, "Hey, I'm incarcerated and I'm about to go to prison."
Mm.
You get what I'm saying, to them to understand, like, oh, wow, like he went through this, because I felt like I had to go through that myself. You know what I'm
But
saying?
was that fair to her?
It really wasn't. And to be honest with you, being honest with the situation now, it really wasn't fair to her, because I should have let her know what the circumstance and situation was. But I'm gonna tell you one thing I was, and I can admit to, was at the end of the day, as a relationship wise, I was a coward,
Mm.
because I
Oh,
couldn't
wow.
face the issue.
Okay.
Yeah, because I couldn't face the issue of actually telling my queen, telling my fiance, telling this person that I say I want to build something with for the rest of my life, that hey, it might be a possibility I was going to prison.
Yeah.
It took me tucking my tail and running and going through the process of doing everything myself.
Yes, no.
In actuality, it backfired on me in the long run, because guess what? I ended up doing what I had to do.
Yeah.
So I feel like sometimes, as a relationship wise, just like she said, she talked. Hey, hey, it's time for you as a woman, as an adult, to make the decision for yourself.
Right.
You
And
know,
one thing I do want to say too, Stephanie, we give advice, we talk to our friends, we do whatever. And some friends may say, girl, it's not that serious. You get what I'm saying? He's doing this, that, and 30. You're worried about being spontaneous. That's not always the case, Stephanie. You have to know what makes you happy. And if that's what genuinely makes you happy, and you're coming home and you're sad, you're bitter, then that's taking joy from you. That's taking peace from you. So regardless of how people may see it, they may see it as not that serious. On the other hand, if it's stealing your joy and making you miserable, then clearly it's a big problem, and it's okay to walk away from it. Not saying you should. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, don't allow someone else's opinions and thoughts, hinder you from making a decision you feel you need to make that's going to make you happy, regardless of what it is. I just wanted to say that.
You preaching. Amen. Amen.
So, Jonathan, I want to ask a question, a hypothetical question, okay?
Talk to
In
me.
a marriage, I know I hear a lot of people say, you know, we stay together for the kids, you da 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 da. Is it really for the kids, or from a male perspective, is it really for the kids, or is it something holding you there? And I'm gonna use your story as an example.
Mm-hmm.
Is it in let's say with your situation, and this is hypothetical.
Right. You good.
Let's say you want to leave for the kids. You
Mm-hmm.
get what I'm saying?
Talk to me.
Is it possible a man would stay there and say they stand for the kids, but they're really staying there because she held you down them 3 years? You feel bad. You
Okay.
get what I'm trying to say?
No, I understand exactly what you're trying to say. Okay, so from a little boy's perspective, yeah, I would feel the same way exactly what you're talking about.
Oh,
But
okay.
from a man's perspective, stepping out from behind the walls, I felt like I owe her the world.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
felt like
yeah.
her something better than what she signed up for. You signed up for this, but I'm gonna give you this. You signed up for 200,000, I'm gonna give you 2 million, baby.
Right, right.
Me stepping out from behind the walls, and that's the difference between, and not trying to be funny when I say this, that's the difference between a boy going behind the walls to a man stepping out from behind the walls. Because not trying to be funny, when I was incarcerated, I seen a lot of things. I done seen riots, I done seen all kind of crazy stuff. So it could have easily been a rebuttal when I came out here and lived the street life, came out here act crazy. I could have came out here, did whatever. Hey, F my daughter, F this, F that. I'm coming out here, I'm gonna act crazy. I don't care about nobody. I could do whatever I want to do. That's how I could have came out with the mentality. But that was gonna be the little boy, the infant mentality. You know what I'm saying? And that was the growth process that I had to go through when doing that 3 years. You know what I'm saying? I had to go and learn how to properly speak in Toastmasters. You know, I know how to conduct myself in certain situations. I know how to appreciate the woman that I have in front of me. I know how to woo my queen. You know what I'm saying? I know how to act as if we ain't never been together a day in our life, and I'm just giving you the first date night. All kind of crazy.
Right, right.
Spontaneousness, going back to our spontaneous. And see, that's the difference between a boy mentality and a men's mentality. And that's the difference between a girl mentality and a woman's mentality. Because a girl's mentality, when I was doing the 3 years, she would have been out here
Mm-hmm.
whatever she
Right.
wanted.
Absolutely.
But guess what? I promise you, it was not one day that my daughter ain't come see me on a weekend. For the whole 3 years my baby been born. And not one day my baby ain't come see me on a weekend. Unless we've been on lockdown. Not trying to be funny.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Either she made sure that she came or she made sure that my mother and my father had my daughter to come see
To
me.
see. Right. But what I'm saying is, if it wasn't good, you get what I'm saying? Are you going to stay just because she held you down the 3 years?
I'm be honest with you. And see, this is the trickiest
See,
situation.
that goes back. I'm scared
Hold
you about to
on,
say
hold
what
on,
I think you're about to
hold on,
say.
hold on. This is the tricky situation about it. When you behind the walls, you're very vulnerable. A lot of men don't want to admit the
Admit
situation.
to it.
You're
Yeah.
very vulnerable. You know, you can't. I don't give a dang if you got $10,000 on your books. You can't spend it when you want to. You can't talk to people when you want to. You can get a cell phone back there. It's still illegal. If you get caught, you're going to lockup.
Mm-hmm.
All kind of crazy stuff that going into. So behind those walls, you're very vulnerable. So
Okay.
it's a lot of things that you can say when you're behind there, but when you step out, it's a whole different story. To have this instead of this, because this right here can run, but when you use this right here means attentiveness. Attentiveness is just sitting back and just listening.
Just
You know?
observe.
And a lot of people can't grasp that concept. So to be honest with you, when a lot of people say a lot of things this and third, they in a vulnerable state. Behind the walls, you're in a vulnerable state. You sometimes you gotta go on lockdown, sometimes this going on, sometimes that going on, sometimes you got this going on, and you there, you're trapped, you know you ain't getting out until 2023, and
Mm.
you're here. I'm here now. and it's like it's a lot going on. So yeah, while I'm back there, yeah, baby, yeah, I love you, girl. I everything you want me to do. You know what I'm saying? For real, like,
Right.
I,
Being honest.
but
Yeah.
when you step out into the real world with them running like this, now guess what? It's a survival of the fittest. You know what I'm saying? Now we're gonna see if you a real, if you excuse my French when I say this, I'm gonna see if you a real nigga, how you say you're a real nigga. You know what I'm saying? I really see if you really about what you saying you about, because when you're out here it doing like this, now you
Yeah.
everything. Like, yeah, you went from behind there because you ain't seen nothing but dudes, but now you coming out here, you see everything.
Right. Right.
Gonna respond to the situation. Now we're gonna see whether you really for me or you were just for me in that situation.
Right. Using that situation.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people got to decipher between the vulnerability of how somebody feel, like
Mm,
a person really
I
for them.
got you.
So I mean, that can go vice versa. So that's a sensitive subject, because I mean, it's easy for people to be vulnerable back there, and they say,
Yeah.
"Baby, I ain't gonna come out there. I ain't gonna cheat on you. I ain't gonna do nothing this, that, and the third." But it's easy because you're in a vulnerable situation. You're doing 5.5 years.
Yeah. So I
Like,
guess, like you said, the situation.
it's a situation,
Yeah.
and you gotta understand the person, and I feel like that's what a lot of people need to do now in a relationship. You gotta really start to understand the person. I feel like, and that's going back to what we first started talking about, the communication.
Mm-hmm.
The
Communication.
A lot of people just want to boom bam, thank you, ma'am. Oh, he got that good D, or she got that good
Mm-hmm.
It's not that communication barrier to where we're actually trying to build and establish something. And if we
Right.
is trying to build and establish something, we don't want to leave our certain type of ideology alone, to where we don't want to compromise and together and comprise and make a legacy.
Right.
You
Absolutely.
and my grandma said all the time, a hard head make a soft ass. That was she
That's true.
longest.
That's true.
And that's real. And if you make all the assumptions, you know what that means. Make an ass
Yeah.
out to me. And
Absolutely.
so regardless of that, them two things right there is what a lot of us doing right now.
That's
Assuming
the truth. That's the truth.
and,
So
and
I know you were about to bring up the dating thing that I was talking about the other night. So what are your thoughts on that? I feel, just to reiterate, you
mm-hmm.
should be able to date who you want to date, as long as you're keeping it your wording, as long as you're keeping it 100% up front. You approach me, hey, I'm not looking for anything serious right now, or maybe I am looking for something serious. However, I got to explore my options. I'm letting you know that right now. Doesn't mean I'm sleeping with, anybody.
Right,
I'm
right,
just feeding out looking at personality, seeing who I want to wean out. I should have that right.
right. And you do have that right. And to be honest with you, a lot of people can't grasp that concept of that no more.
Why though?
I
Somebody said something and I cannot remember what it was. But it's like, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that. You're not sleeping with these people. You're not kissing these people. You're not being no way, shape, or form intimate with these people. Y'all just learning one another and see if I want to deal with you for a second date or a third date. But like you said, a lot of people just can't grasp that concept because of society and what they're viewing us as, and we're worrying about what the next person is saying.
mean, that's what's going on in society now. I mean, look at when you're trying to woo a female. A lot of people trying to woo a female for that night. We trying to anything with you. Not trying to be funny when I say that, but that's just
Yeah.
how society is built today. So it's so hard as a female and as a man trying to find something to establish. It's harder on both parts, on who and what and when, where, how, what, like how we supposed to do this thing.
Right.
And that's where the confusion coming in at. Because at the end of the day, you got females that spread their legs for anything. At the end of
Mm,
the day, you got men that'll get between anything. Keep the
mm.
bam. You know what I'm saying? So you got to decipher in between, like, how is this person different between this person? And it's hard now because it's a lot of things that's going on, and it's a lot of things that you got to take into account for and accountability for.
Yeah.
And
And it's a lot of dishonesty.
right, right. You know,
Because you're trying to woo that
I-
person, so you're gonna do what it takes to get that person.
oh yeah, a lot of people make it sound good to you now. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, they'll make it sound good. They'll woo you real good now. Don't get it twisted, males and fellas.
And see, that's to my point, Jonathan.
Yes, ma'am.
Why should I limit myself to just you because you trying to woo me, and say what it takes? And then I meet a guy in the gas station, the grocery store. We're talking for like 2 weeks, want to go on a date. No, I can't date because, I'm dating Jonathan. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you're 100% what you say you are.
Unless we are established as a unit.
Right.
Go back to this again. Unless we are established as a unit, you are not obligated to me, and I'm not obligated to you. You hear
Hello.
catch my drill? So unless we establish this as a unit, listen, ma'am, we are not obligated to each other. Now that don't mean that I'm about to step out there and do nothing crazy. No, I'm
Right.
saying that. But what I'm saying is, until we make that establishment, until we break that barrier and make that contract to say,
Yep.
hey, you me and I'm you, hey,
Absolutely.
a free game, baby.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's just talking real. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, at the end of the day, if it's no type of establishment, nobody can get mad over somebody dating with the dating, because the dating is
Thank
dating.
you. Thank you.
A lot of people get dating mixed up with sex and doing this.
Yes.
Talking about sex, we're talking about the dating process. We are talking about wooing each other. We are talking about sitting down and
Yep.
something to see whether our legacies can bounce together and we can make something great as an empire.
Exactly. Hell, let me see if you worth it. If we want to keep it real.
You know? I mean, like, seriously.
Yeah.
Yo.
Exactly.
Oh,
So I know we've been on almost an hour, but I do want to lighten the mood just a little bit.
okay.
Just for the last, 10 minutes or what have you. So me and a friend was having a debate. Okay.
Uh-oh.
So I want to get your take on this.
Uh-oh.
So if you've been dating, well, I always use myself as an example on the show. So me and you've been dating, let's say a year, okay?
Right.
I was in a relationship with your cousin maybe 20 years ago. I don't know, in high school or something. I don't know. You get what I'm saying? Somewhere along those lines.
Right.
So you and I knew this before we started this entanglement. You get what I'm saying? Like, you knew this was 20 years ago. Me and you start kicking it. It's nothing serious, having sex, doing whatever. Right. So then I say, Jonathan, we've been sleeping around, having fun, mad fun for like a year or two. Let's make it exclusive. Let's see how this thing go. And you say, you used to mess with my cousin in high school. I can't take it there with you, knowing you used to mess with my cousin. What are your thoughts on that? Sips liquor.
I don't know. Tell me. Before I even speak, I want to give a shout out. I want to sponsor and I'm about to take a sip, and that's it. Now, that's a lot.
How? I'll let you talk before I get my opinion.
That's a lot, because I feel like, why would you bring that even up? Like, high school? Like, that's
okay. That's my point.
Oh, like, that's high school. Like, that's gonna be funny. I graduated 2009, so I know a bunch of people right now that's with a lot of people that been with a lot of people in high school. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And they not worrying about that. So I'm trying to figure out where.
Because I guess it's a cousin. My thing is, why sleep with her in the first place?
I mean, but it's high school.
That's how I feel. You were a kid. Get over it.
High school. Like,
yeah.
I don't know how to explain that. Like, it's high school. Like,
that's how I felt. That's what I told her. Like, it's high school. There's no reason someone should say, hey, I've been sleeping with you for 2 years and now we can't make it exclusive because you're a high school sweetheart.
It's high school.
That's something you ain't want to do.
Now, I see if you graduated like a year ago, then okay, I can understand.
Wait a minute. What did Melvin say? Are you referring to what we're talking about, Melvin? Off limits for life, no expiration date? Then don't do it in the first place. Why do it in the first place? And then, she want to be serious. You can't do it because cousin is going to find out. No. But yeah, that was a quick debate because You know, I thought you were going to see it differently from me because I'm a female, you're a male. So,
It's, I mean, not trying to be funny. I mean, I'm real about mine. I mean, it's high
yeah.
school. You know, I think about it. It's 2020 right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Out of high school since 2009. We talking about 11 years.
Yeah.
You talking about some shit 11 years ago.
11. I wish somebody might come to me about something. I'm not going to tell how many years I've been out of school, but something in high school.
Mm-mm.
I wish you might.
How long you been out of high school, friend?
A long time.
I ain't
A
messing with
very long time.
you. I ain't messing with you. But
But
yeah,
yeah, that's a debate. That was a debate question that we had going on. And to
yeah,
be honest with you, a few people seen it as such. No, I wouldn't be able to do it.
right. But
Not
I
a
mean,
shot.
what it is, I mean, like everybody done got to establish paths.
Yeah.
And even with my queen, if my queen look at my past and she took my past in consideration, you know what I'm saying? She probably would do something crazy. But at the end of the day, she know what we got established.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
worrying about no past situation. What the
But you know, that brings up something else. And look, I said we was gonna lighten the mood, and here I go taking it back.
talk
That
to me?
brings up something else with men and women. If you pursue a woman or you pursue a man, you better do your research in the beginning because once y'all in this situation, you get what I'm saying? Like you gotta accept that person. You don't have to. Let me choose my words wisely. You don't have to accept that person, but 9 times out of 10, if something comes up from their past, I mean, I just don't see a reason why you would like just deplenish the whole relationship based upon something they did in the past, unless it's just something like majorly crazy.
I'm
But that's something you probably should have tried to find out or talk to the person and see is there anything that could possibly come up, you know, that could probably hurt me or make me upset. Or other than that, I don't think you should hold no one's past against them unless it's something just
I,
wow.
I would never hold nobody past against them because if I'm getting to know the person, I'm getting to know
Yeah,
for the moment in the time and the person that right then and there, not the past. The past,
exactly.
guess what? I'm trying to see where you're gonna take me in this future. You get
In
what I'm
this future.
and if you worth it enough for me to take you in the future, guess what? We're gonna do this thing together and we're gonna throw this thing together. But
Absolutely.
we're gonna throw your past together. I don't care if you've been da 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 da. If it's worth it, then it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? And that's where we gonna have our own type of ideology and we gonna have to leave our small paradigm and get to a place to where we can actually cope to where, hey, if this is what it is, then that's what it is. But
Absolutely.
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not about to hold nobody past against you. Like I said, I graduated 2009. We're talking if I get somebody where I've been with in high school and and man, I ain't getting in all that crazy stuff. That's
Yeah.
crazy, man. Like, yo, like I graduated 2009, bro. It's 20, bro. Leave that shit alone. It's in the past.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to be funny. Like, I don't
That's the truth.
like
Girlfriend, if you're watching, you heard it from a male perspective and a female
that.
perspective.
All
That's
right.
high school.
Like for real, like that's high school. You hear what you're saying? High school.
Yeah.
Like listen to the key word high school. Them the two key components.
Yeah.
School.
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
adult. Listen to them words. Adult. Like, yo, leave that alone. No. Yeah.
Okay, so I have another question. And again, we're just lighting the mood. We're gonna stay on for an hour and then so I'm gonna pick on Melvin a little bit, Jonathan. Um you're probably gonna be mad about this. Makeup. Let's talk about makeup and y'all gentlemen. So I guess my concern here is why does it bother some men that women, such as myself, flips hair, wear makeup? Like if you choose a natural person, then deal with a natural person. You know what I'm saying? But why do you have to voice that on someone that wears makeup? Like why? Why does it bother you guys that bad?
I mean, to be honest with you, I mean it's a preference.
Wait a minute. Somebody said something. Hold on. Keish Capiche said, nah, bro, I had my first kid in high school and friend for about 16 years screwing my baby daddy. So you saying that's okay. Whoa, whoa. Let me read that again.
Keith,
I had my first kid in high school and friend for about 16 years screwing my baby daddy. So you saying that's okay. No,
Ooh, I
no,
ain't say nothing like
no,
that, baby.
no,
My
no.
words ain't come close to what you talking about, baby.
No,
Baby girl,
no.
listen, no ma'am. Baby
No,
girl,
I
no
don't
ma'am,
agree with
no
that
ma'am.
now. Like, I don't agree. I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
can't agree with that one.
Hey, listen.
Uh-oh.
Hey, this
It's definitely not okay, Jamie.
no,
Yeah.
hey, tell her, baby, this go to you, baby. I'm about to take this sip for you, baby.
Let me take a sip.
Hey, we sipping and talking, baby.
No,
Hey,
that's
no,
not
ma'am.
okay at
No,
all.
ma'am.
Like, I don't even feel like a friend should be sleeping with someone that her friend slept with. You get what I'm saying? I don't know. I know it's probably, y'all probably like, you're contradicting yourself. Oh no, but I just don't see, nah, I wouldn't do it. But I don't know, is that the same situation though? I'm sleeping with you now, 20 years later, and I slept with your cousin 20 years ago. Is that the same thing?
Nah, it's not. You talking about 20 years. Like 20
But look what
years.
she said now. Keish said this was high school, and her friend was messing with her baby daddy. That's
But
the same situation.
hold on. Listen what you just said. This was high school and her friend was messing with her baby daddy.
And friend for about 16 years screwing my baby daddy.
So that means that was a fucked up situation from the get-go. That what that sound like to me. That don't sound like a situation that it was just a situation where we just gonna go out and woo woo. I mean, that sounds like a fucked up situation from the get-go, to be honest with you. I mean,
16 years later, it's the same situation, Jonathan.
how you gotta think about it? You think about your best friend. You think, regardless of your fact, if we best friends, I'm not about to mess with no nigga.
I'm not going to do that at all.
You get what I'm saying? See, you understand what
Okay, Keisha, let me maybe say it this way. Let's see. Okay, me, and of course, like I said, this is not me. I just always use myself so y'all can understand it. I don't owe any loyalty to Jonathan's cousin. That was in high school. You get what I'm saying? So that's not on me. It's not like, oh,
The
I
man
don't
probably,
know, y'all.
the man
I
probably
don't know.
somebody else.
Hold on. Jamie said her friend did the same thing and we are no longer friends. I just can't agree with that one. I would not be friends with her. I'm surprised y'all ain't fight. No, because that was 16 years. Were y'all still friends when she did it? I don't know about that now. So I don't know why it just don't seem like it's the same thing.
Hey, tell them we would have took that to the cut down the road from Edison High School.
Yeah, it seems like it's the same thing, but that just ain't cool. That just sounds
ain't cool.
Yeah, I don't know, Keisha. Maybe I am contradicting myself.
Yeah, I ain't cool there now.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. No.
Yeah, they got
that.
Like I said, Keish, I'm gonna take a sip for you, baby. I love you, baby.
Whew, man.
I gotta take a sip for you now.
That make you wonder, like, did she have her eyes on and back in high school? You know, you're gonna be thinking all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Your mama said, "Watch your mouth, Jonathan."
Oh. Hey, mama, I love you, baby. I love you.
But you got, we're almost at 5 o'clock. I enjoy this. You know what, Jonathan? I think this is something we should do. What, maybe once a month? We don't want to run out, huh?
Oh, hey, listen, we could do it anytime.
Maybe like once a month. Let's have open conversation because it's good to hear it from a male perspective and a female perspective. So I think this is something we should lock in for once a month, just to talk about all kind of stuff like we did today. And who's to say, you know, look, people came in, shared their story. We gave a little feedback. It was fun, you know, so we're going to lock this in once a month. Stephanie said, keep it coming. We definitely will. I enjoyed this today. I really did. So what's today, y'all? The 11th? I don't know what November 11th, but around that area. We'll try to keep it around the 8th. We'll do it November the 8th. I hope I'm done by the or the 15th. No, oh yeah, I can't do it on 15th. So the 8th. Okay. So November the 8th, ladies, make sure y'all tune in. Y'all can always inbox Let's Sip and Talk page if you want to be anonymous, but you want to share a concern or a question to get it from a male and a female perspective. So we'll be doing that. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for responding. That's much support. Appreciate it. Jonathan, thank you for your thoughts and being real, you know, keeping it open like I keep it open, you know. So I appreciate all you guys. Love you. And as we always say on Let's Sip and Talk with Freema, peace and love.
Peace.
All right, bye.